We'd love to have you to come to Seward. Seward is a fantastic town to live. It's a fantastic town for kids. I raised my 4 children here, and they've all had a fantastic experience. The school is small enough that the teachers know every student, and the students know all the teachers. It's a great place to live, plus the environment is fantastic. It's a beautiful place, so we'd love to have you come. Well, there was an opportunity to buy a company here, a tour boat company, and we were living in Seattle at the time, and there was an opportunity to buy a company, and so I talked to the owners, I talked to the bankers, and bought that company almost 30 years ago. And we moved to Seward in 1992, and again the company has grown from 2 boats to we're running 7 boats here in Seward, and of course the hotel as well. Well, I've always loved the people part of the business, and I have a degree in philosophy, and philosophy is all about people, and I love my customers and I love my employees. And I'm blessed to have a brother who's a CPA, so I do all the people stuff and he does all the financial, and allows me to focus on keeping customers and employees happy. Mm-hmm. Because the industry has been growing so rapidly, most of our employees start out as deckhands, and then they, over time, over a 5 or 10 year period, they get their captain's license. So most of them start when they're in their early 20s. I always say our product is Alaska, and it pretty much sells itself. And the thing about Kenai Fjords National Park is it's not very well known. Mm-hmm. And so people come here and they have an expectation that's here, and every day our goal is to exceed people's expectations. And quite honestly, it's a real easy job, because day after day after day we exceed people's expectations. And that's why I'm here in Seward as a visitor years ago. What I found was that the customers consistently came back from Seward happier than they were with any other destination they were going to. And so it's a very moderate. We're generally 10 degrees warmer in the winter and 10 degrees cooler in the summer than Anchorage. This is an ice-free port. So it stays free of ice, so that's why this was the original port for the state of Alaska, and that's why the Alaska Railroad started here in Seward, is because it was an ice-free port. Obviously, being a marine climate, we do get cloudy, wet days, but we also get a lot of sunny days, and June, July, and August, of course, are the peak of the summer, and we get a lot of warm, sunny days in the 70s, and very rarely above 75. We don't get super hot, but it also stays relatively moderate. It doesn't get below high 50s. It'll get down to 50 degrees at night in late August. And my favorite time in Alaska is the fall. I love the fall colors. All the trees turn golden brown, and what's now all green turns gold and red, and it's late August and early September. The first 3 weeks of September is, in my opinion, the best time to come to Alaska. Seward is the port for Anchorage. So people who own boats in Anchorage, whether they're sailboats or power boats, this is where they have to keep their boat. And because it's a moderate climate year-round, you don't have to worry about your boat freezing. You have to worry about shoveling snow off of it sometimes, but the water actually keeps a steady temperature inside your boat, so you don't have to worry about that. And but yes, there are probably 200 boats for people who live in Anchorage, and a lot of them. And in normal summer, they'd probably come down 6 times and use their boat. This year, because they can't fly outside, the busiest people in Seward right now are the marine repair companies, because everybody in Anchorage has said, this is the year that I'm going to come to Seward every weekend, and I'm going to go sailing, and I'm going to go to the glaciers, and I'm going to spend my whole summer in Seward. So most people fly into Anchorage, and many of them either rent a car or take the Alaska Railroad down. I always recommend to take the railroad one way or the other, and the train is a 4-hour trip. The drive is 2 hours, so it's exactly 120 miles. So it takes 2 hours. Spectacular scenery on the drive down, and so people will come into the airport in Anchorage. They'll rent a car, drive down, stay at the Harbor 360. Our boats depart right from behind the hotel. Our boats are high-speed catamarans here in Seward, and so we have the ability to accommodate about 600 people a day, and on various lengths. We have different people are interested in different lengths. If they have families, they're interested in the 3.5-hour tours. If they're wanting to go to the glaciers, a lot of them have the 6-hour tour. Then we have an 8.5-hour tour that goes much deeper into the park, and that was the one that left early this morning at 8 a.m. And so we have a variety of lengths of time for different people, and based on their schedule and their interests. And so we have 5 different departures during the day, starting at 8 o'clock and going until 1:30 in the afternoon. In 2015, I got a call from the National Park Service, and they asked me about one of our boats that they particularly like, and they told me that they were going to charter it and that I'd get a call from the White House the next day. So this was right before the Paris Climate Change Conference, and President Obama wanted to come to Alaska and see how the glaciers worked. So they called us and asked us if we'd take the president out and show him how the glaciers worked, and we did on September 1st, 2015, which happened to also be the day that we ended up buying this hotel. So it was a very big day, and so I'll always remember that date. But we took the president out and showed him how the glaciers worked, and took him to see the sea lion rookeries and the birds, and there was humpbacks in the bay that day, and it was a wonderful day, and the president was very relaxed, and we didn't talk about politics. We just had a wonderful time in the park. Well, the cruise industry has only been about 15% of our market overall, and so because the cruise lines didn't come, we're going to be down. We're going to be down about 70% from last year, but we're still better off than 95% of the other companies out there. We haven't laid anyone off. We've kept all of our captains. We've kept all of our crew, and we're running the boats at 50% of capacity. So of course, like yesterday, we had 5 boats out. We could have put all the people on 2 boats, but we've made a company-wide decision to limit it to 50% of the capacity of the boats, and so that has helped us a lot in keeping our crew busy and working, and they are super happy to be working. So it's because they live to do this all summer, and the fact that they can do it every day. And Kaylee, who was on the trip yesterday, she said she's been with us 6 years. She says yesterday was the best day she's ever had as far as orcas and humpback feeding right next to the side of the boat.
Nice.
So yeah.